Welcome to FMA Talk. I'm your host, Datu Tim, and this is my wonderful co-host.
Hey, BG Ty's here. Welcome, everyone.
Hope everyone is doing well. A bunch of things came in. So today, we're going to be talking about social media and how it affects and how it can help what we're doing. Hello, Mr. Harper. How you doing?
Hey, Zach.
Oh, wait, Zach from Florida. So, yeah. But, been doing a bunch of different things this week, trying to get ready for all of us have to get ready for Thanksgiving or whatever. And then of course we got Thanksgiving this weekend, or actually we have a Thursday, and then Friday sometime during the day, I shoot up to Canada and I do our 2-day Canadian training camp up there, our Thanksgiving weekend. So that will be interesting. Looking forward to that, and a few other things here and there. I had a full house tonight in class, so that was cool.
Good.
I'm gonna get my microphone closer. Does that sound any better?
Oh yeah, it sounds pretty good. I got not a new one for you, but the social media of just being out there. My dentist showed up to class on Sunday, and so it looks like he's going to stay, which is pretty cool.
Your dentist did?
Yeah.
And how did you hear about it? Your social media?
No, he somehow we were talking about it at the clinic.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. So I'm waiting to see if all the BJJs actually show up. Because I made a comment about it. Hey, all the BJJs, you should probably come on board with this.
I saw the one with the skit with Chris on there. Did that went out, right?
Yes, it did. That was awesome.
All right, good.
I wish these things would play. I want to try it one more time here. And if people can hear it, just, hopefully I'm going to try to play it with sound.
Well, it's very apropos, so it's good.
I want to talk about this, and if any of the fans out there are listening to this live, please join the conversation. Matter of fact, if you're a real person versus hiding behind a fake account, I will send you a link so you can be a guest on our show right away.
There you go.
All right, let me see if I can pull this off here. Okay, so let's see what happens. I'm going to present, share screen, window, share audio. Now let me see here. I'm just looking at this right now. All right, share audio. Okay, I want to get rid of a couple windows here, make life easier. Okay, so I've got the window. To share audio, share a tab instead of screen. Okay. Well, I can do that. Here we go. See if this works, everybody.
All right. Yep, you can hear it.
Tamales?
I'm here to give Datu Tim a BJJ. Taste the BJJ.
What?
Can I get your autograph?
Sure. You want a selfie too?
What are you doing?
You want to touch the sword? Okay. As of late, I've been getting all these threats about people dojo storming. I have these ideas. They come in and stick a stick in my nose, my mouth, and in a different orifice. But this is how it would really go down. And listen, for more information about Filipino martial arts and the downfalls of BJJ, just make sure you follow.
Chris is awesome.
I thought that was hilarious. So
Hey,
Eric, yes. And that was so funny. So here's the deal. My dog is bugging me. So, actually, let me just do one thing. Anyone else chime in? I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah. Anybody else on? Remember the drill. Depending, we may or may not be able to see the details. So if you let us know who you are, where you're from, that's good. And yep, glad you could make it early, Eric. That's good. I will try to be scintillating, which is not normally the case. But anyway, I'm getting over a headache, so bear with me. But yeah, so today's topic is social media and how to use it, how to make it work for you, some of the considerations, and some of the implications, both good and bad, right? When you're out there, you're out there, so it attracts all sorts of things. But as they say, no all press is good press.
So that video, I want to talk about.
Oh, nice, Eric.
Yes, you did. Yep.
I didn't see that. Off the what? Okay.
So, I want to talk about that video particularly. So my question is, how does everyone take that video? So I've had, okay, there we go. I've had the MMA Kool-Aid crew trying to tell everybody that I'm attacking BJJ, and I've made dozens, plural, of videos on this. Hey, Craig. Now, I did a video, and Tim Dobson. Oh, there we go. Two Canadians. Hey.
Craig, yep.
I've had two. On my first video on BJJ versus FMA, my social media crew told me to go over the top. And I really would have. I wish I would have seen it because I would have changed it just a little bit. Not much. And actually, the video I put out yesterday, I think that one was better. And basically, the first one, it is what it is.
Hey, Mr. Rich.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to do this one. So we're going to do a little presentation here. It's going to be one of those days. Share the screen, share the tab. Okay, here we go. Why is Filipino martial arts better than BJJ? That's the thing. Martial arts better than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Here's the deal. If I had to choose between the two, I would pick Filipino martial arts. But guess what? I don't have to make that choice. I get to do both. I love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It is limited, though. So it is a ground tactic. And the way it's being taught these days for the sport concept of things is very hard to find an actual school that teaches self-defense. It's all about competing, including just sitting down and letting the opponent come to that. It doesn't happen in the street. That being said, what does Filipino martial arts has preferred? We stay on our feet. We move around. I can deal with multiple attackers. We deal with weapons, both offensive and defensive. Up to 60% of all assaults happen with a weapon. You're not going to pull guard. You're not going to lay down on the job. You got to be able to move. More importantly, you got to be able to escape. Sport jiu-jitsu teaches you how to engage in a one-on-one duel when there's rules and stuff of that nature. Filipino martial arts, we do it all. Our weak spot is the ground game, and that's why I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, to actually show me how I do my stand-up skills from the grounded position. For more information on what we do in the modern East world, make sure you hit MAU below. We will give you a link to register. So that would have been the first video I really wanted.
Mm-hmm.
The other one became about me fighting a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu player versus why I like the difference. Okay. Right. But they told me controversial. It got views. And the whole idea is you got to get in front of people to get the message out. And when you listen, okay, can you come here? Okay. When we talk about all the things I've said, I've had some videos that I've responded to people. Like I said, BJJ is silly for self-defense. That was because these clowns were saying that I can't be a legitimate martial artist because I'm wearing shoes. And I mean, wrestlers wear shoes. Unfortunately, when they put the wrestler photo, they put the WWE, not actual wrestlers. Kung Fu people wear shoes. All this. Krav Maga wears shoes.
Hey, maybe street fighters don't wear shoes.
Yeah, so. Oh, and then somebody the other day, how could I be legit if I'm wearing a golf shirt?
Okay. No, they must have been trolling. Yep. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, then, so yesterday, the video I put up yesterday or today was about Filipino martial arts is used by special forces around the world. The guy goes, "Oh no, you're wrong." Because the U.S. combatives, I'm like, first of all, you're only talking about one branch. Kelly Warden was teaching modern arnis at a special forces base. Don't tell me it's not being done. All right, I gotta get rid of them. All right, so come on, you want to be part of the show? You want to be part of the show? But at the okay, I love you. Not you, Ty. You're okay. You're okay. Oh, is that Mama? Go get Mama. Okay.
There you go.
So, people will go off and say whatever they want, and I the video I tried today was about. Well, actually, I'm not even gonna. This is cool. Now that I figured out the audio thing.
Yeah, it's handy.
It's time to make this work. Here we go. Next one. This is today's video. Let me do this. I'm going to do this. Okay. Share. Are not seen in the UFC. I get that comment a lot. And you know what? For the most part, you're right. You know where you don't see MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? In special forces training. Filipino martial arts has been documented protecting the countries around the world. It's used by some of the most elite special forces groups. Yes, militaries do use Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to teach that warrior aggressive mindset. It's very important. But in the battlefield, are you really going to wrestle with the opponent in barbed wire, rocks, or wait a minute, even a landmine field? At the end of the day, if someone does a single leg or double leg takedown to me, my partner's going to shoot him. Let's get real. There's a lot of good attributes for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, but tell me when it's been used to protect the country. And they would say, all right, well, the Spaniards occupied the Philippines for 400 years. Remember that word was? Occupied. Just like Afghanistan. How many people have occupied it, but they never won? They occupied the Philippines, but eventually they left. For more things about Filipino martial arts, make sure you comment MAU and get a link to the world's leading website and university for Filipino martial arts. Filipino martial arts are not seen in the UFC. I get that. What did you do? Okay. So, my dog is being a jerk. So that's today's video. Okay. Ty, you know a little about military and stuff like that.
Somewhat,
right?
A little bit. Yeah, I'm familiar with. I work with those.
Would you say that my comment is illegit or legit?
Which one?
About this one about special forces. I mean, that was a video,
right,
of U.S. and Philippine special forces playing with each other.
Right.
And these guys are just And I talked about here's how they play the game. I will talk about. Okay, so BJJ has been used by a lot of groups. Law enforcement academies are using it now, and I think they used to do boxing, and I think legitimately what happened was people were teaching boxing that had no right to be teaching boxing, and cadets were getting injured and concussed and stuff of that nature, and then lawsuits were happening. So what is an alternative that would be safer for training in the cadets? Jiu-jitsu, okay. But let's think about this. And I'm not trying to bag on jiu-jitsu. I'm a blue belt, and so we're going to talk about why it took me 34 years to become a blue belt. Because the guy brought it up today and I responded to him. At the end of the day, you don't want to be rolling on the ground with your opponent, because then all the stuff you're wearing to help you do the job, they have access to help them do the job. If we're on the ground, I've got a knife. You can grab that. You can grab my CS. You can grab my radio. You can get my firearm. You can grab my taser. You have access to all the tools I have access to because we're rolling around on the ground. Not to mention, when you're wearing your police gear, you do not want to be rolling on the ground. You're going to be like a turtle. Now, Ty, you and I have taught at the academies together.
Mm-hmm.
With the gear that they have, would you? Okay, and listen, I know we don't want to be on the ground, period. But what do you think about doing ground combatives with all that gear on?
I wouldn't like it. And it's funny because when we're teaching, right, when they talk about it and try to, do what they have to do and do what they got to do, you can tell they don't like it either because they know the risks. They know the exposure. They know the weapon retention difficulties and things like that.
That being said, you've got all these people. I mean, the problem is the BJJ crew. They can't, listen, today, or the video I put up yesterday about I get to do both, I got so much support on. It was crazy. Mm-hmm. It was good. Some people said you should do both. I go, and that's why, and I do both.
There you go.
And then someone, of course, I got one smart aleck, which has nothing to do with anything. Well, then I find it odd that it took you 34 years to become a blue belt. Hey, here's the thing. And I responded to this guy. I wasn't in it for the belt.
Right.
I was in it for the material. And using Ballintwalk as the example, if we're going to go Ballintwalk the way Anshan Bakan taught it, because my teacher was a direct student of Anshan, used to teach for Anshan. There was no rank. You were either the teacher or the student. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I was going monthly for 5 years, 9 hours round trip in a single day to train with this guy. And I didn't have one certificate or anything. Now, eventually the family, after Monk Ted had his stroke, they put a bloodline certificate together, a lineage certificate, just to let people know that they were part of the Buat family, the Bakan Buat lineage of Ballintwalk. But, once again, no ranks. I was the first to be allowed to teach seminars. 9 hours round trip on a monthly basis. No certificates until the very end. It was worth every minute of it. And I didn't go there. Now, as a professional martial arts instructor, you're dang straight I would love to have as much paperwork as possible, because if I'm going to teach this, I want the credentials that go with it.
Right.
Because too many people make shit up or start teaching. Someone's successful in an MMA fight and they opened up gyms. And they shouldn't, and they're the last people in the world that should be opening up a gym. Oh, look, I won 3 fights. Let me open up a gym. You don't know how to coach people. Hell, some of you don't even know how to talk to people. So, so my thing is, it was about material. And here's the other thing is, wait for it. I travel the world teaching martial arts. That might gobble up a little of my time.
Just a bit.
Yeah. I'm at 23 seminars for 2025 so far.
All set up? Okay.
All set up. I'm probably going to have, that's weekends, people. So far, I've got 23 weekends that I'm going away. And at least one of those trips is a 2-week trip to the Philippines.
Right.
Kind of gets in the way with me and my BJJ coaches getting together. But the thing was, I didn't test for my belt. I didn't ask for my belt. It's like, hey, and of course, wait a minute. So it was a political promotion. No, I got promoted because he saw I did the work and I could do the material, and I wasn't asking for anything. I said, hey, one of these decades, I'd like to get a blue belt. And I got it. I hit my goal. Now I'm working on my purple belt. And you know what? If it takes another 20 years, so be it. Here we go. It's simple. Train a martial art. It works all the ranges. Combat. FMA does it. Yep. Yeah. So my videos will talk about all these different things. And, at the end of the day, I make sure I might talk about some controversial topics, but I don't bag on people. I might bust their chops back so like I put the guy out there, and I put it out there, and the guy goes, "Oh, here we go." I talked about, my training gets, I don't chase rank, and my travel gets in the way. So of course, what he goes. So you train once every 2 years? Only thing that says that you're really bad at it, or you have zero credibility, and that would explain it all. So you're going to have, and once again, all these clowns that are going to be saying all the bullshit. Who's the mutual fan? Aldacakis is a friend of his. Like, this is a guy that's got a cello on his thing. So, but of course he doesn't. We don't ever see him saying or doing anything, but it's okay.
I mean, but the bottom line is, you're out there. People are gonna poke at it because there's something there. You're never gonna make everyone happy. They're gonna find something to poke at if that's who they want to be, no matter what the point is.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
The way I look, okay. So first of all, if you're gonna put yourself out there in general, you're gonna have to have a thick skin, because you can do everything perfect, and someone's gonna bust your chops.
Yep. And as we pointed out before, some these clips or these pieces, they don't tell the whole story, right? Because you can't tell the whole story.
Yeah. So, like I talked about one of my techniques, that this is off of a grab, and someone goes, "Well, that punch would never be out there that long." You did hear me say that this is off of a grab,
right?
Or they'll talk about something that's completely not related to the video.
Yep.
Like, what video are you watching?
It's the one in their head.
The one in their head. So, yeah, yep. So, I've got a meme.
Yep.
Who says once you go black, you can't go back? And it's
That's
me
right.
wearing a white belt with all my black belts in my hands.
Yep. I always find it great to start over in a new system, put on that white belt, because the expectations are gone and the door, the cup is empty, ready to learn something new. Awesome. It's easy as pie.
Yeah. So, okay, now that my dog is gone and is not pestering me the same way, now I can be a little more focused on what we're talking about. So, so right off the bat, I started a campaign. It was April 1st. We launched our social media campaign. I had actually, I'm going to pull up the numbers, and they exclude this was done yesterday, and all my numbers change on a daily basis. So I haven't put in today's stuff. I actually didn't put the last 2 days stuff. So I'm gonna do that while we're here.
There you go.
So oh, here's my phone. Okay. So I started off, the highest amount of followers I had was Facebook. Oh no, Instagram. I had 2,912 followers. TikTok, I had 1,000, 2,200 for Facebook, and YouTube was 1,020 followers. Okay. So, as of now, my Facebook is 164,826 followers.
Wow.
Okay. My Instagram is 45,025 followers. That's right now. Let me hit the others because I can. It'll just take me a moment. So TikTok, I'm at 125,100 followers. And then the slow burn, and it is slow, let me tell you. YouTube is the beast. And it's such a hard one to get traction on.
Yep.
When it comes to followers. It's easier for me to get plays than it is followers. So YouTube has 11,039 followers.
Nice. I still haven't cracked 4,000, but I haven't put anything out there in a long time.
Now, but like here, so right now, currently, I have 1.3 million plays for this month. That's before processing today's numbers. So, and just to give an example of what we've done. So today's video came out on Facebook. It's already 16,000 views on FMA not being in the UFC. Why Filipino martial arts is better. That came out yesterday. That's at 23,000 with a little over 24 hours. Punch got eaten. That's another one. And then the dojo storming video is at 47,000 right now.
Nice.
So when I process the rest of today's numbers, that'll put me at 1.4 million for the month.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, it'll easy do that. It's weird because each video, it depends on what the video is, what the strongest platform is.
Mm-hmm.
Usually my Facebook dominates, but sometimes it's TikTok, sometimes it's Instagram. You can never tell. And it's about a collective platform. I can't just do, I don't look at just one. I look at all of them because, I said, what are you doing overall? And like if we're looking at like today's numbers, just today, I'm closing in on 30,000 views on a video that's been up since 4 o'clock today.
All right. Nice.
Yeah. So now this isn't going to be a video of me bragging about my videos. I mean, it is. And now that I figured out how to do the sound, we're going to have so much more fun.
Nice.
I'm in the candy store now.
Well, we can put clips up to illustrate what we're talking about a whole lot easier now. Yep.
Exactly. And I got to always check. I've got a spreadsheet that does this. I got to always check my numbers because, I'm at 1.4. I just played some numbers right now. I'm at 1.4 million plays for the day or for the month, which I think is pretty good if you ask me.
Yeah.
So today is about how to do all this stuff. Now there's okay. So I'm gonna get back into now that I check my numbers. I get back to this. Look, someone missed your YouTube videos.
Thanks, Zach. Yeah, I'll get out there again. It's probably this spring.
There we go. So let's talk about this. So, and of course, if people have questions on it, feel free to ask. Now, Ty and I were doing some projects, and we had some good success. We didn't have this kind of success because I got professional help. That's a joke, everybody. They may not have gotten that one. I think most people got that joke.
Yep.
It was pretty funny. So, what you need to, like anything, the biggest thing here is consistency. When Ty and I were doing our videos ourselves back then, we were both being fairly consistent and we both had a good amount of success.
Yep.
Now I'm fortunate Okay. Now I've got a company I work with, but we don't boost the views. Yeah, we teach intro lessons.
Of course, definitely.
So one of my favorite stick holds / locks from you, the body lever.
Okay.
There we go. So, this like I said, this video today is about what happened, how we did it, blah, blah, blah. Go from there. All right. So the first thing I would say is that you need to constantly be putting content out. Now, I have content coming out 7 days a week. That's a lot of work. So the first thing, I wouldn't say put that much out. We got very aggressive with this. So, I knew what I was up for, and I went all in. But first thing I would do is look at you doing shorts and reels. They're the same thing.
Yeah, those get quick, lots of views, and travel far and fast. That's something I didn't really experiment too much with, so maybe the next time around. Although I will say the shorter ones in general, because you can watch them.
Long form content, it can be good,
Mm-hmm.
but some people don't have the patience to do it either. So,
and it can't be your only thing.
Yeah. So my goal, what I would say is, you do the shorts. You need to do them in the portrait, not the landscape mode.
Yep.
And raw is good. You don't have to do all this stuff on there. Pick your brand colors and stick to it.
Consistency.
It's all about that, we talk, and the company I'm working with, we've had a bunch of discussions on this, so the first thing I would do is, you're going to sit down and write a bunch of ideas, and the most important thing is the hook. The hook is what you start everything off with. So, using mine as the example, actually, I'll pull up my. Okay, so we got Filipino FMA aren't in the UFC. That's the first one. Or Filipino martial arts is better than BJJ. That was a reaction video. I will really go down that. The best defense against a knife attack. Martial artists are not invincible. Reaction of one. Here's a good karambit party trick to practice. You say something that gets people interested. The guy wants to know, what kind of parties do I throw? Well, they involve karambits.
There you go.
So I don't want to listen. It's not being clickbaity. It's getting people to watch your stuff. You have to have you got to have a line. I mean, when you're doing a sale, and we have all these people watching. So, best savings of the year. Oh, I better look at that, So the whole idea is to get your people interested. The second thing is, it can't be too long, because people don't have the patience to watch it.
Yep.
Matt, you're just blowing us up. There's way too much stuff going on here. You guys have a teaching formula. The intro person. Yep. Okay. He prefers shorts. I hate shorts. I prefer long pants. Okay. And then does Ty have any system patches for his Kung Fu style? Okay.
Yep, no system patches, but you can get a yin yang with a mantis on it. Those are at Century or Asian or wherever the heck they are. We use those sometimes.
So the big thing is, you need to get people to look. Now some of my videos are there's reaction videos, which I watch a video, and some are reactive videos where my trolls have been pushing me around. So I push back. And one of which is there's a video called BJJ is silly for self-defense. Now everyone got upset about that. But then I go, and the first thing I said is, this is for all of, only because I don't know where it is. Otherwise I would play it. I talk about BJJ people being insecure. But if you listen to the video, I talk about how the Barefoot Brigade members that have been busting my chops are saying that I can't be legit because I'm wearing shoes. That's what someone said.
Right.
So the whole video is about barefoot martial arts and my response to the comment. But of course, everyone is hearing me saying that BJJ is silly for self-defense. I'm like, well, that's the hook. But listen to the words that I said. And no one does. Because they hear what they want.
Yep.
It's just, yeah, okay. I can't find it. Now that I see, now I'm just excited to be able to do all this stuff.
I can tell.
I just think I really want to play every video now. Hey, let's do a 60-minute montage for 2 months of videos.
I was going to say that could make the shows get longer just because of all that.
Yeah. So, here's the deal. You, yeah, because I don't have the lighting. I still haven't set up the lighting. I gotta redo my office again. We got like 2 more shows, right?
I think that sounds right.
Yeah, we got 2 more shows for the end of the season. Then we'll take our break and then come back before we go to the Philippines and take another break.
There you go.
So I'm just too many things at once here. I know what I need to do. I need to do this. So interesting. The big thing here is that whatever you do, you need to get people's attention. So you got to have that hook that gets people to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on the verge. People are going to call you clickbaity, but it's not click. I mean, it's getting their attention.
You got to get their attention, yeah, because I mean, otherwise they see a million video setups scrolling by. Well, what makes them pick yours?
Yeah. And okay, so okay, if you want to have content out there to be seen, you can find some hot girl wearing a thong, a string bikini, making sexual innuendos, and all of a sudden she's going to blow up and have a lot of views. Okay. And they don't even have to be that cute. Just skin the wind,
Mm-hmm.
And people are going to say, hey, that's pretty sexist. But now I could, it's the truth. Now, I could wear this stuff, but no one wants to see that. Wait for it. I want you to visualize that. Okay, now I'll see you in therapy with me.
There you go.
I won't be alone in therapy anymore. Or what do? You have controversial, edgy topics. So I put a bunch of videos out. I don't think I've said anything bad. I don't think I've said anything inaccurate. I correct people on a regular basis. I stick to my guns. But you have to have that engagement. And we're going to talk about engagement in a minute. So, but your videos, there we go. Damn my eyes. I told you somebody.
It's
Right,
inner
somebody
eyes.
So I would, like I said, you keep the video fairly raw. You don't go too crazy, overproduce it. And do the topics. Now, here's where a lot of people miss the ball. They post their video, and it's a post and go. They post it and they ghost it, and they don't engage with anybody. You have to talk. All right. Now, here's the thing. You can put up the best content out there, and someone's going to trash talk it. End of story.
They will.
End of story. Some guy in the Philippines started going after Ty. Now, okay, the name of the art that we do is called Modernese. It was created by the late Grandmaster Remy Amador Preces, who was accredited for single-handedly saving Philippine martial arts. And I'm just going to say he was the tip of the spear, but he didn't do it by himself. His family, his two brothers helped him, along with others.
Yep.
Everyone who picked up a stick to train with him helped him, if you think about that. We're all part of a big team. But he's the guy that's given credit for that. So, that being said, you chose the name Modernese. So Ty did a video on Modernese, and a Filipino starts going after him, saying, "How dare you modernize Arnis, our art?" It was like, and I didn't comment. I would now. I would actually go after him and go, "Hey, as another practitioner of Modernese, I would say you need to do your research. Mr. Filipino doesn't know his own system, doesn't know his own history." And enlighten him who Remy was and what he did. And tell him to go to the National Bookstore. You can probably get a copy of the book if you look real hard. But Ty did nothing wrong. There's 3 books and 25 videos that outline that. There's countless magazine articles. And there's someone busting Ty's chops for using his teacher's name appropriately.
But that just goes to make the point that you can't guarantee a win, because hey, maybe I was going to be sensitive and I didn't want to call it Modernese, so that I didn't draw that thing. So then I don't use the right name of my art. That's disrespectful. More people would call me out for that, and rightly so. You can never win if people want to do that. It's just part of the game. And actually, it gets some more controversy and some discussion going. And guess what? You get more views.
So, and that's what you have to do. So I was told, when my company and I talked about the big thing we talked about is that, Tim, you need to engage.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, I can engage.
Be careful what you ask for.
Well, yeah. And the thing here is this. I've had someone was busting my chops. And of course, one of the many guys that make these comments, you don't know what you're talking about, I go, and I lay it out for him. I've done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu since the 90s. I'm a blue belt in it. I was the person that was responsible for bringing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to the Metro Buffalo area. One of my students taught it. He trained with me coming down from Canada weekly. And I said, well, while you're here, would you like to teach some classes? Sure. So we started the ball rolling, and then we continued. Now, eventually, a full-time BJJ school opened up, and I only had a program; I didn't have a school. So the guys went to the dedicated school, and they should, because they wanted to go all in, and we couldn't offer those services because I wasn't looking to go all in. But in addition to Primo, the guy who was in charge of it at one time, he became an EFC cage champion for his weight division. EFC was owned by the UFC at one time. I forgot the Hammer, whoever the Hammer was. Mark Coleman, I want to say.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was a UFC fight. He was there. We were talking about it. Yep. Okay, Tim Dobson. He's just sent me a photo of Remy and G. That's cool. Yeah, I got that one too. Cool. Thanks, Tim. So, I guess I tried. Oh, so I defended myself. I told this guy I didn't back down. He thanked me for responding. He took all the information. He goes, "You now have a new fan." I'm like, "Oh, great." But the thing here is these people are going to push you around, and you got a couple ways you can go with this. The first way is you don't say a word and ignore them. You could do that. The other one is you can stop posting. That might fix that. Or you could do what I do. I engage and I go right back to these guys. And, once again, you might not like my take on things. That's okay. You might not like my opinion. Once again, that's okay. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm not trash talking people, so I give it right back to these guys. And at the end of the day, what are you supposed to do? Drive up engagement. Well, the dialogue back and forth, I got these guys that are like fanatics and they just won't let things go. And then now other people hop on them because at the beginning, it was me against all these people. And then quickly I started getting a fan base that would defend me. And now, for the most part, I don't even have to say anything. I've taken, I try to go on for about an hour a day. That's my goal. Personally, I think, I still want to keep that personal engagement. And I'm not going to back down for these guys, But all that stuff does is add to the analytics. Now, here's the question, you got to ask yourself, what are you willing to do? Is it worth it? If you're trying to promote, listen, like I'm selling my products online, which helps me provide for my family. Okay. That's my job, provide for my family. I am not saying that's anything that's wrong. They might not like my candor, but once again, nothing's wrong. We all have our opinion on things. But personally, I wish if we could all agree on certain things. Like, so right now, the big push for the BJJ guys and MMA guys, my comment to them is there's a difference between real contact and real context. There's no question that there's real contact in the MMA world. The problem here is the context is not the same. They're fighting for a tournament, a trophy, a belt, a match, a paycheck, whatever. It's not the same thing as fighting for your life. That's not someone. I mean, someone the other day asked me, "Is the UFC real? UFC 1, if it was real?" And my comment to him was, "No, UFC wasn't real." Now, everyone listen real closely. The Gracies owned it. They picked all the fighters. They picked the order that they would fight. So it was a real infomercial.
I was going to say real what would be the next question.
Now, there was real contact. There was no holds barred, theoretically, but there were holds barred because you couldn't use lethal force in the ring. You had a corner man that could throw in the towel, you could tap out, and the referee could stop the fight. Matter of fact, there was a sumo wrestler there. They did disqualified because there was a cut near his eye, which is funny. If you see the later bloodbaths and all the other UFCs, they didn't care. And as he left the ring, he slammed the ring, and the whole octagon shifted. Personally, I think it was just to get rid of him because they didn't know how they'd choke him out. He was just too big. So, I think but people just don't understand the difference between a fight for your life versus fighting for a competition. And can things cross over and be used in both? Sure, they can. There's no question about that. But you do what you're trained. Here's the question. Could you see someone, let's say you see a Brazilian jiu-jitsu stylist. Do you think with all that training, if someone tapped out on the street, they might actually let him go?
At least loosen up, probably reflex the first time.
Right. So, and I'm not trying, once again, you do what you train to do. I can think most martial arts can be done as a sport if you wanted. You have to make modifications. But the problem people forget, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is I'm gonna be real rough on this one. Jiu-Jitsu was the mother art, Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. And when the Jiu-Jitsu players wanted to spar each other, they did a thing called judo. So when I got to Brazil, they didn't have mats, so they were taught the newaza, which is the ground element. So judo is judo was a watered down version. I didn't want to say this, but it's a watered down version of jiu-jitsu. And Brazilian jiu-jitsu is a watered down version of that. It's not that it doesn't have its place, but it's not the same as the real art that it came from. The lethal art that the samurais used to protect their country. So I don't know. But you can't tell them that, And their go-to is simple. Well, if your art's so good, how come it's not in the UFC? Because it's used to protect the country, not to fight in a cage. Of course, they don't care about the fact that there is stick fighting MMA in the Philippines, but they don't want to know that, Oh. People. But okay, and I'm going down the rabbit hole on one particular person, but that's okay. So what I would, if you're going to put yourself out there, the first thing you got to do is develop a thick skin. You got to remember that every time someone says something negative, okay, vet your material. Have someone look at it that you respect. Have someone that looks at, because you know what? There's some people out there who really shouldn't be putting videos out. There's people that are decent martial artists, but are terrible in front of the camera.
Mhm.
You know, they just don't have the chops to do this. And actually, there's people in our group that they do well. And I've done some battles with some of these people, you know, or I did point counterpoint with these people. I just wish they were funnier. they're
Mhm.
just they're just too. Their humor is so dry. They're boring. They're like Eeyore at times from Winnie the Pooh. But the fact of the matter here is, people are going to come at you, and you got to be ready for it. And I don't mean attacking you physically. They're going to say stuff like, I know. Well, let me see what's going on here. I need to know about that. Okay, that's cool. Hey, Sam.
Hey.
Sam's gonna be at the house with us too.
Good.
So, and I'll say also with all this stuff, like I said, you gotta have your mindset. What you're gonna do, have your topic, have your hook, and see you later, Zach. And from there, what you need to do is have that thick skin. Don't overproduce, and most of this you can just do right from a cell phone.
Sure.
The software in there does a lot. I don't know how to do the words. I know Premiere does the words. And when I mean the words,
Mhm.
I'll show you real quick now that I can. Sooner or later, people are going to get sick of this. Yeah, I'll just share right here. So these words pop up as, because that's the thing. But as I go, the scariest way to snap someone's wrist in FMA. I'm going to use a trap to come in here. I don't know. I know Premiere does that. I don't know what other programs do it, but there's got to be more than one program that does it.
Mhm.
But you pick your colors, you be consistent with them. I'm red and black, you know. And then, write down a bunch of titles. You know, I would shoot 10 at a time. I do 50 videos in a 3-hour session.
Wow.
Yeah, it's rough.
Imagine.
Yeah, because sometimes we have the content, you know, we come up with ideas, and I don't like their idea, and they don't like my idea, or we try to morph it into something that works best for everybody, you know. Like I said, you got to be prepared for some edgy content. You know, what's going to get people? What's going to get people to talk? And then you need to go at them and just, you know, like when they push you, push back. Because here's the thing. And eventually you get your followers, and they'll do all the fighting for you. It's great. And then you stoke the fires every now and then. They come up and say, "You're a moron." No, I just and what I do really basic. I'm dyslexic, so I'm not really good at typing. So what I just do is take the microphone, put up Word, dictate into it, push it quickly through ChatGPT to catch all of the spell checks, and does all the punctuation, and then I post it. Did you ever post it? I did. So Sam Alvey did some stuff with us.
Mm.
Look, let me. Here we go. But he did it as stories, so I think they went away. But let me see. Let me look for this. And Will won another fight. Good for Will. Hoo-ah! Will keeps winning. That's good.
I know. I saw that. Saw him gearing up, and I saw he came back with the win. Good stuff.
Oh, hold on. Looking. Interesting. It's not what I wanted. All right, let me see if I can find Sam here. Sam Alvey. Smiling Sam. Oh, here we go. Did Sam send me a message? Not here. All right, so let's look over at the Talk of Tick. I don't know who he's talking to. There's for you. If you read that one while I'm looking for this.
We'll say, I talk endlessly about you guys and the organization at tournaments. Awesome. What I've learned from you guys have really given me advantage. That's awesome. Very cool, Will. I'm glad some of it you can bring in.
I found these. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Here we go.
So much.
You have sound on that?
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah.
Sure about
You're not getting up.
Are
You're not getting up.
You sure I'm not getting out? I think I got you right there, buddy.
Okay.
Okay.
You win. You win.
All right. I told you.
Sam's a good. He's good fun here.
Hey, Tim, I'm choking you out. You talk so much. FMA is better.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure about
You're
that?
not getting. All right.
Here's another one, part two.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Hands up.
All right.
I think we're good. I think
Okay,
we're good.
okay,
I ain't
okay.
getting out of this one.
Okay.
Jiu-jitsu for the win.
Jiu-jitsu sucks.
Oh, here's a good one. This is a good one. This next one's pretty good. I like this one.
So what I really enjoy about martial arts is the fact that we don't have to fight. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to be violent, hurting each other. We're very good in the community, and we're not a detriment. And for the next time, I'll see you all guys later.
Nice.
So what I really enjoy about martial arts is the fact.
So, Sam Alvey, the smiling Sam Alvey, the karate combat heavyweight champion.
Nice.
So, and I asked him. I talked about stuff. Like what what? First of all, I go, do I come off like a douche? He goes, Tim, you come off like you know what you're talking about. Okay, thanks. I go, dude, do you get threats? Oh shit, I get threats all the time. Really?
Of course.
They talked about the MMA fighters doing the union because they want to, and actually the fighters are not asking for a fighters union. It's people like you and me say that there should be a union. So of course, if you bring up the topic that we should have a union and I can get paid more money, I'm not going to fight the concept. But when I was talking to Sam, like, we get paid good money. I mean, we're not making Dana White money, but I mean,
right.
He was telling me what he was making. Oh,
okay.
Yep. Some champion. Yep. And,
nice.
Yep. Yeah, he unalived him. Yeah. But I mean, so like when they've talked about it, and his position is that he's had the conversation about, well, we really don't need a union. We get but he also said a lot of these guys they do it wrong. So when they win, they thank all these people. It's like no, that's your moment to shine. You got to call people. Everyone wants to be Conor, but they can't be Conor because there's only one Conor McGregor. You know, and it's like, oh, you win. Oh, I want to thank this guy. Thank guy. I was like, no. He's like, that's your moment. I want this guy. I want that guy. Da da da. He called and said, I'll fight 2 in one night. And they're like, dudes, we can't. I can't do it. I go, and would you? I go, oh hell yeah, I'd do it. I'd do 2 in one night. But what happens if he gets knocked out and he can't compete for the second match? You know, and throws the whole thing off. You know. So, but you know. But he talked about there's that moment for social media. You have that opportunity. You have that crowd. So, can I help you? Go get mama. Go get mama. Go get her. Hey, Antonio, how you doing?
Hey, there he is. Back.
This title is like the line from Cool as Ice, 0 to Hero. I just want to make sure there's a lot of Conor McGregor's. Just one UFC. Yep. Okay. So I know I've been a little distracted because of the puppy, but the biggest thing is consistency and engagement, and you have to. I mean, and Ty and I, we've done all this stuff already. And before I leveled up, then went for, you know, to get professional help. We heard all this stuff. Consistency.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And engage with everything.
Okay, got rid of that post. You know. But the big thing is you film a lot of content, you edit it all, and you figure out what you want to do. What I would tell people, I would go, I'd probably look at 2 to 3 times a week. I mean, I admittedly, I'm doing it 7 days a week, but I mean, you know, I've help for that. What I would do is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Experiment with the time of the day. There we go. What size shirt do you need for your Christmas? What's your name on Tic Tac Datu Hartman? Funny. I'm an XL, by the way. But you know, I mean, if you pre-film stuff, hey Carl, hey, when am I going to see you in class next? I'm up at Carl's this weekend. We're doing a Canadian camp.
Yep.
I'll be there sometime Friday, Carl. I just don't know when yet. Got to work out some details with the boss. So, does anyone have any questions?
I think we got most everything. Seems like a little slower night. I mean, it is also, you know, Thanksgiving week, so.
Yeah. Well, it's slower night. We have 28 people watching.
Yeah, I mean, slower relative to recent, but not slower overall.
I'm in Cambridge, Ontario, so it's by Guelph. It's in between Toronto and it's in between Buffalo and London, Ontario. So we're probably going to start pushing more of our stuff out there. Talk about some old content because
can highlight some old stuff and talk about that.
Well, now, so here's the thing: Facebook has never been so good to us because of all this. So, if we're going to talk about, well, let's hit the views. Here we go. I'm gonna throw some numbers out at you here. So, what do we think last week's show was like?
I have no idea.
How many views do you think we had on last week's show?
A couple hundred? I don't know. 50? Somewhere in there.
Okay, so last week's show, 2,100 plays on Facebook.
Okay. Oh, on Facebook. Yeah.
Okay. The Massachusetts camp update 2 weeks ago, 1,900.
Nice.
3 weeks ago, your questions, our answers, 2,200.
Okay.
Unfiltered recap, fall fling. Ontario, it was all the seminars and the tournaments. It was 5 weeks ago, 3,500.
Okay.
Accountability partners, we talked about 6 weeks ago, 3,500. Keeping it real, accountability training, 1,300. Buffalo Night. Oh no, that's my update. Inside the World Modern Race Alliance on revealing the IDC camp in the tournament, 2,900. Sticks versus blades, or myth or reality, 4,600. 6,900 for why we chose. Oh, I spelled it wrong. No, choose. And why I chose Modern Anise. A deep dive into that. 6,900 views on that. We were back. That was 3,400. The future of FMA Talk, 2,900. I mean, we and that's because of the synergy of this.
Right.
Oh my goodness. So, okay, here we go. I hear Wayne Gretzky is there, George Washington. He didn't cut down on a tree, though. Since April, when you leveled up, besides the growth of social media, what benefits have you seen, such as seminar bookings, growth in numbers of students, create conversations, new leads? Okay, hold on. I have to look at it again, like that. My walking stick, accountability, both still a plunger. Okay, there we go. Master Ty, I will make it to your class one day. There we go. All right, so what's happened for me here? Okay, so it's been rough because right when things are peaking, I got my shoulder surgery. So I just got cleared to fly. I was on a no-fly list because of fear of blood clots. I wasn't on a no-fly list. I just couldn't fly because of potential blood clotting. So, but my online university, I've been selling a lot of those. People have inquired about seminars. I've gotten 3 new students in the school because of this. I've gotten people coming in from out of town to visit me. When we did the seminar in Germany, the deciding factor were my videos. So for a third of the attendees to show up, it was specifically about the videos. I'm like, oh wow, okay. Because Mike had me ask, okay, how many here because they saw my videos? And it was a huge group.
Nice.
So there's a lot of stuff there, So I got a meeting tomorrow afternoon with my social media group about how to take it to that next level. There's other things I have to do. First time no fly, and it's an injury lane.
As opposed to being on a watch list or something.
Yeah. So, no, it's been good. I tell you, the Philippines, so I met a group in Maryland. Long story short, I was there to see G. And then, that's Jason and I.
Right.
We're both with the same company. I signed up first. I guess I'm bigger at FMA, and he's more of got the security and bodyguard type following more. Even though we're both doing FMA, his appeals more to that crowd. He used to be a bail bondman, so bounty hunter. Yeehaw. Doggy dog.
That's right.
Probably a lot of people don't understand Dog the Bounty Hunter, but that's okay. So I met the group in Maryland. And then I went back down to visit them 2 more times. One was for black belt grading. They invited me to be part of it. And then actually a couple more because they attended our seminars and stuff like that. Then I ended up going to the World Championships with them in the Philippines. They had no clue. So most of my followers, my demographics, the biggest country, what would you say?
Biggest country?
Yeah, you would say the States because I'm American, right?
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah, number 1 country is the Philippines.
Okay, great.
You know, so I had people visiting me at the hotel, meeting me in parks. There's a joke in there somewhere. So I'm sitting down the first night at the Worlds, and they're handing out uniforms. We're doing a little meet and greet and all this other stuff. And there was a constant line of people coming to introduce themselves and do selfies with me the whole weekend. And they're like, and Kim from Carlos's group was like, okay, she was watching, and Carlos Pantaling, who's been on the show, comes walking up. She goes, GM Carlos, everyone's been here to take pictures with Tim and giving him gifts. Yeah. So like, and I'm like, she's like, what's going on here? I'm like, Kim, what? I go, I'm kind of one of those guys. And not the kind that's on the most wanted list. I've actually been featured in Black Belt Magazine and other things like that. I'm like, I didn't know that. I'm like, well, we try to keep, I don't always shove in people's face. So, here we go. Antonio, can you please accept? Oh, no, don't do it, Antonio. That's a bogus. Oh, and now they're doing the same thing to Sam. Okay. So I've been getting this a lot. I gotta let me see if I can get there.
Wow.
I've been getting these bots left and right.
Okay.
Holy cow. Oh, I gotta share this with you. This is friggin' hilarious. I don't even know where this came from. It just popped up on my feed. Look at that. Willie Nelson in a gi. What are the odds? Holy cow. Oh, that's all for hers. Okay. Stop sharing. Okay, so I'm going to go to Datu. Because it's got to be there. Here she is. Okay. I'm going to take her. It's one of those bots. What do I want to do? Scam fraud. Yeah, we'll do this. Spam. We'll do spam. Block. Okay, so hopefully that will keep her from off of our stuff.
Just be a different name eventually.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to switch profiles and see if I can get in there and do something about it. Yep. There she is. Let's see if I can do this here. Delete. So hopefully they won't see my posts anymore. So we won't see that person, hopefully. All right.
You said we got 2 more shows left. What's the next one? And I think the last one is the panel, if we can swing that.
Yeah, well, I'm looking for yeah. So I don't have a show for next week.
Okay.
Don't have an idea. I don't know. What should we do?
I'm
still waiting to see if Joey Reyes was going to pop on. we're going to talk about which is better.
That'd be great.
Well, it wasn't better. He just, we're just gonna talk, but I don't think he's gonna pop on.
Okay. Where's he at?
Mississauga,
Oh, okay.
but he's got a lot on his plate. So, yeah, he has a lot on his plate. We'll just go with that. And I like Joey, but it's just he does so many different things. So I think he has all the good intent. But let's see what did he put up today. But yeah, I've got nothing for. I'll come up with something because we know what the last show of the week is, or last show of the season, and that's going to be our board, our panel, and we're going to talk about the future. Or this year in the review in the future. Have we been on point? What can we do better? What can we do worse? Blah blah blah.
Yep.
So
from as much varied perspectives as we can get.
Yeah. So we've got. I think Eric said he's going to be on the show, right, Eric?
Excellent.
Rich Parsons, Craig was talking about being on. Chad said he'd come on.
Oh, nice. Okay.
He called me and we talked about it. So
good.
Jackie and see who else. See who else. But yeah. So, big thing I would say, everybody, go out and do it. If you're going to do something, do it. Don't talk about it. Do it. The longer you sit around and waiting for it, it's not going to get done.
Right. And be consistent and engage with everything. Even the simple comment saying thanks. It's like, hey, appreciate your time. Blah, blah, blah.
Thumbs up, a heart, or whatever,
Yep.
Keep the content under a minute. Realize no matter how well you do the content, someone's going to take it out of context.
Yep. Par for the course.
Okay, here we go. What's this? You get that one?
I don't know how interested others might be, but a conversation about how to handle the logistics of traveling for martial arts and having a heavy caseload like you two and other have might be a good topic. I think we touched on that once, but maybe not exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can talk about it. Let me think about the show. I mean, I want to make an easy show for us because, what I'm just going to do is I'm going to, that could be something note for the new year. After we recharge our batteries and stuff like that.
Right.
I think, listen, the video we did about the belt structure, that was last week. We did a good number. And the first time we did it, it was we didn't have anywhere near those numbers. They were in the hundreds, not in the thousands.
Right.
So I'm looking at all of our own content and see what was good show,
right,
and redo it.
Yeah, what needs to be said again or said better or retouched upon or emphasized. Yep.
Because our audience has grown significantly. So because it has, now topics, topics that we had before, we have better options here, and just let's see here. Let me get to my channel. Okay. Oh, that was 2 months ago. See, because I don't have the let me see the live stuff. Okay. If I'm looking at YouTube, we had a good show about curriculum delivery mechanisms. Now, we had 2 YouTube channels at the time. On this one, we only had 91. Sparring, we had 152 views. I think now's the time to pull it. Maybe we'll do something on sparring. Owning the floor, 77 views.
That's a skill. Speaking of social media, you know what? I've got to give a shout out. So remember we did the Massachusetts camp, right? All this, do you seen all the stuff that Mike Fitzgerald shared? He did a great job of having little bite-sized clips for everybody to play with and repost. Yeah. That's the kind of thing you can use and redo too out there. So if somebody's recording your things, and chop it up and send it out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's what I was looking for. So if I go to even we definitely want to redo these old topics because we have some really good topics. Okay. And the views are negligible on this, but I mean, we were also transmitting, on a whole bunch of stuff. Of course, we got to make sure we pick the right one because some people might not like what we say, which is okay. I don't want to do ones that are. I'm not trying to be controversial. I don't lean away from it, but at the same token, I'm not,
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. We should. I'm looking at these. There's a whole bunch of things we could talk about. Yeah. I think I want to redo owning the floor. I think that was a really good one. And then maybe hosting seminars. Make sure you get a lawyer. Lawyer better if a martial art one. Martial arts, the law. Oh, yeah, but
that one's also a little tricky too because everything is very different from state to state. So, but there's some general principles, sure, maybe. And we do have some lawyers in the.
Yeah, we do. All right. Well, I feel pretty good. How you feeling?
I'm still getting over that headache.
Well, I tell you what. The quickest wrap up one more time. Start filming. Don't wait for it. You'll always get better. Yep. At the end of the day, the more you do, the better you're going to get. Hopefully, at least the more comfortable you should get. Yep. From there, keep the content raw. Don't go too crazy on overproducing shit. And then, like I said, you get better by doing. So do it. Just do it.
There you go. And keep doing it.
Yes. All right. I'll think of a good topic for next week. I'll look at one of our topics. So, on that note, let's wrap things up here, everybody.
Yeah.
I hope this was informational or informative,
or at least encouraging.
Yeah. I gotta do something about my knucklehead. He just doesn't. Unfortunately, I'm trying to get a studio in the basement set up, but a lot of work to do. Okay, good night, Antonio. All right, so listen, as always, this is a pleasure to do this with my good friend here, PG Tye. So, with no further ado, this is Datu 10.
PG Ty. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Hit the wrong button. Here we go.